Welcome to Football Manager 2020. Although the game isn't officially released for another couple of weeks, the early access beta is available to play now, and you can play it today if you buy the game via the links in my description below. There's a discount code there as well. Anyway, I spent my first night of the FM20 cycle holidaying into the future. That's what I used to be known for, these experiments. I haven't done one for ages, but I thought I'd get back on the experiment bandwagon. So I've holidayed 10 years into the future, and we're going to take a look to see what has happened in the world of football. The best place to start then is the Champions League. These are the last 10 winners of the Champions League, or the European Champions Cup as it's called on the game. I will install the real names and the real badges, etc., real faces at some point very soon. But for this experiment, we're just going with the vanilla version. I mean, Zebra. They're Juventus, for those that don't know. I love the fact they're called Zebra. I mean, I'm tempted not to change them to Juventus because I just think it's great. I think it's different. I love it. And I like zebras. I know it's spelt slightly different, but there we go. So they actually managed to win the first Champions League title in this universe, beating Chelsea in the final. We then saw Real Madrid beat Napoli. And since then, PSG have dominated. 4 wins for them, one win each for Man City. And, Real Madrid have won it twice, actually. And Liverpool have won it twice. Most recently, against Real Madrid in the final. You might notice some players here that you recognise. Rodrigo, the Brazilian wonder kid, playing for Man City. Looks rather good at the age of 28. Lautaro Martinez, the Argentinian, who I believe is actually potentially moving to Manchester United. They've been linked with him anyway, and he's moved to Man United on the game as well and turned into a rather prolific forward. We've got Bernardo Silva still playing for Man City at the age of 34, 149 caps for Portugal. This is a real-life player, isn't it? Hassam Aouar, don't know how to pronounce him. He plays for Lyon in real life, but he moved to Spurs and then to Real Madrid. Mitrovic, playing for Ajax. He's been around the block a bit, hasn't he? Looking at that. There's some real players here that have developed nicely. You might notice this chap only 3 caps for Germany. You're probably wondering why. It's because I think you can't have the real German players playing for Germany again on this version of Football Manager, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's let's have a look at the recent finals. Well, the last 10 finals. So Liverpool won 2-0. Let's just have a look at the final, actually. So Jeff Webber, a regen with both goals. So by this point, obviously, regions have started to become a bit more dominant. Don't know what happened there. It's gone all black in the background. But there are real players here. For Real Madrid, we've got Courtois at the age of 37, 176 caps for Belgium. So he managed to stay in the Real Madrid team, as you can see there, and push on and become a top keeper for them. Jadon Sancho, 77 caps for England at the age of 29, moved to Liverpool for 79 million and then to Real Madrid for 104 million. In the Liverpool team, we've got Alisson, 89 caps for Brazil at the age of 36. He stayed with Liverpool for the entirety of the last 10 seasons. Alexander-Arnold at the age of 30, in his prime, 84 caps for England, never left Liverpool, worth a lot of money, earning a hell of a lot of money. There might be some real players that I missed that I just don't really know. But I suppose on the whole, looking at it, I think there's a lot of regens here, which is what you'd expect 10 years into the future. But we'll have a look at sort of the world best players over the last 10 years to see who's been dominating. Last year we saw PSG beat Chelsea. I can't see a year ago, but they won 3-2 in extra time. 0-0 draw, but they won on penalties the previous season. Real Madrid beat Zebra 1-0. Liverpool beat Spurs in 2025. PSG beat Spurs in 2024. Spurs have been a bit unlucky, haven't they? Losing a few finals. PSG beat Man City. Man City beat PSG 3-1. PSG have been dominant. I'm not surprised. They've got so much money and they've got an exceptional team. They've got Mbappe, who probably turns into the best player in the world. Let's have a quick look at the Euro Cup, the recent winners. So there's a bit more variety there. PSG actually won it the first time, though. Then Arsenal, AC Milan, Bayer Leverkusen, Liverpool, Chelsea, Dortmund, Lazio, Man United and Wolfsburg. That's 10 different winners. That is really unusual. That is very, very unusual. Wolfsburg won the most recent final against Atletico Madrid then. 1-0 in the final. I don't know why it keeps... That might be a bit of some sort of bug there. It just randomly changes the background. Bernd Leno still playing for in Germany for Wolfsburg. Moved from Arsenal to Wolfsburg for £13 million. Any other new... There might be some other real players that I just don't really recognise. Oblak still playing at the age of 36. 109 caps for Slovenia. been at Atletico Madrid for many, many years. Saul? He's at a right back now, 127. I like how versatile he is. He's ridiculous. He's 34 now, so he's obviously not in his prime. The Norwegian wonder kid, Haaland. 100 caps for Norway, 76 goals. He's turned into a beast, as you would expect. Moved to Man United for 20 million, which is a bargain. Then to Atletico Madrid for 50. But he's very well-rounded, isn't he? Very well. He really is a talented player. I'm actually going to be managing Salzburg in my beta save, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he does for me. So let's have a look at the World Player of the Year. So Lewandowski actually won it in the first season. He's obviously retired. Now he's retired at the age of 27. But Messi was second, and Messi's turned into a coach for Atletico Pamplona. So he was caretaker manager at one point, but he is just a regular coach there. He's a coach at Granada. He retired in 2025. Don't think it will. It will show his footballing player history. He really dropped off, didn't he? I mean, look at all those goals. I always find it annoying how the game can't seem to replicate how insane Messi is. Like, he suddenly drops off to 22 goals, only 15 in the league, and then just, I mean, maybe this could happen. Maybe he will drop off. He will at some point, obviously, but I just feel like, look at all the records he's setting here, all these league goals. That's just league goals, remember, showing here on the screen. It's not showing all goals in competitions. Then suddenly from 36 to 15. Why did that happen? I suppose in real life he did get injured, but still. Cristiano Ronaldo actually won it the year after, and he's actually manager of Leeds United. He's been manager of various random English clubs. Hull City, Sheffield United, Reading, and then Leeds. You know, proper English clubs he's been in charge of. Let's have a quick look at his footballing history. So he continued to do well, and obviously won World Player of the Year. I think he's won it twice, in fact. But yeah, he didn't seem to drop off until the very last season. Harry Kane's still playing at the age of 35, 70 goals in 128 games for England, still at Spurs. Roberto Firmino actually finished third. He's completely retired and not on the game anymore. But yeah, Ronaldo actually won it at the age of 37. Mbappe won it for the first time at the age of 23, though, which is great to see. He's obviously an incredible player and has won the most World Player of the Year awards on this game. Worth so much money, earning £400,000 a week, 145 caps for France, and 88 goals. He's never left, and PSG have obviously dominated in the Champions League, so why would he leave? But there's not really anyone that could probably afford him. De Bruyne is still playing at the age of 36. He's moved to Saudi Arabia, though, after many years with Man City. Really good average ratings. But yeah, last 3 years playing in Saudi Arabia. Griezmann, who's now a manager, he's unemployed, but he stayed with Barcelona until 2027 when he retired. This is intriguing. I know there's not really much structure to this video. I'm just sort of bouncing around everywhere, but hopefully you're enjoying it. We've already had a look at Bernardo Silva, but then Mbappe won it twice in a row after Ronaldo won it at the age of 37. There's Lautaro Martinez. Lewandowski still featuring at the age of, where is he? 35. Still banging in the goals for Bayern Munich. The following year, Salah at the age of 32 featured. So he moved to Real Madrid. He's still there, in fact. Moved for 127 million, which is, I guess, a realistic fee. 68 goals in 92 games for Egypt. He's still there at the age of 36, and he still looks good, finishing 19. 17 composure off the ball, 19. I mean, he's basically a poacher now. He's not a winger, really. He should be playing up front as a poacher. His pace has gone dreadfully downhill, as you'd expect at that age, though. Bernardo Silva actually won it twice in a row, so he really is a star player. I remember, it must be about 4 or 5 years ago, when he was sort of a wonder kid on the game. He would regularly dominate world football and win World Player of the Year. Here's Rodrigo featuring. So he featured for the first time at the age of 25. And then we've got our first ever regen winning it. So he's obviously an exceptional regen, a striker who has managed to move to Real Madrid for £74 million, scoring goals. He's got 11 goals and 36 caps for Germany at the age of 24. Not bad, not a bad player. Juan Hernandez, real life player, Colombian, finishing second, playing for Zebra. And most recently, Mbappe has picked it up with Rodrigo and Lautaro Martinez. We've only got one regen featuring at this point. I think the Golden Ball is actually the Ballon d'Or, isn't it? So I think this is very, very similar looking at the winners. Don't think there's anyone else featuring that we haven't seen already. Just quickly look up. Yeah, Bosch won that one as well last year as well. So it's pretty much like for like. World Team of the Year, though, is interesting. I mean, that's the entirety of the last 10 years, I suppose, for the World Team of the Year. So Ronaldo up front with Mbappe, Salah, Rodrigo. Milinkovic-Savic has moved to Real Madrid. He moved to Liverpool, then to Real Madrid for 107 million. 58 caps for Serbia. That's not that many, really, for a world-class central midfielder. Marquinhos, the Brazilian right back, 131 caps for Brazil, still playing. He moved to Zebra for 25.5 million. That must have been about 33 or 34 when he made that move. Eder Militao, Brazilian centre-back. So Brazil have done quite well. We'll have a look at the World Cups in a second. I think there's been 2. Laporte, the French centre-back, moved from City to Tottenham for £56 million. They actually made a bit of a loss there. They didn't play him that year. Whether that's injury or not, I don't know. This is the real life season. They just didn't play him, and then he moved to Spurs, which is quite strange, and he's turned into a very good player. Kieran Tierney, Scottish left back, of course, 103 caps, still in England, but he moved to Liverpool for £90 million. So what happened to Robertson? They had Robertson and Tierney. I'm intrigued now. He might not be on the game anymore, but there he is at the age of 35. So I mean, Tierney does seem to do very well on Football Manager generally, but he's moved to the Middle East and played for 3 different clubs. Perhaps it didn't quite. I mean, he still was playing, but if we compare that to Tierney, I suppose Tierney came in and Robertson left about this point, and Tierney's pushed on. I mean, are they the same age? Just floating around here. So I didn't realise Robertson was actually 4 years older than Tierney. So that kind of explains that. So Tierney's basically the replacement for Robertson. Ederson, 35 years old now, still playing for Man City. So he's the goalkeeper on there. We've got Van Dijk. He's an assistant manager these days for Bordeaux, for the Bordeaux reserves, in fact. But he moved to PSG for 111 million. Wow. So that was only in the second season of this universe. And yeah, it's got very good average ratings looking at that. Obviously won Champions League titles. Courtois on there. Wagui, I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. He plays for PSG. Moved to Chelsea, then to PSG for £55 million. Messi's on there, he's on the bench though. Jadon Sancho, we've had a look at him. Fabio Silva, he's only 26, he must be like 16 at the start of the game. If anyone's interested in me looking at some Wonder Kids, doing a Wonder Kid video, sort of comparing them at the start of the save to 10 years in, I can do that as a separate video with this file if you're interested. I'm just going to scroll back. You can pause the video if you want to have a look. Oh, there's Ndombele in Team of the Year. This is intriguing. I like this. All Pavard. I've just noticed him. 33 years old. Ben Chilwell, at the age of 32, 202 caps for England. He's turned into a star for his country as well, hasn't he? Oh, I love this. It's great. Anyway, let's watch that. Under 21 Footballer of the Year. I suppose it'd just be regens, but from the very start. So Mbappe, 2 years in a row. Don't know why there's no second or third place, but yeah. Then João Felix. So he's 29 now, 90 caps for Portugal, playing for Barcelona, moved for £146 million. That might be the biggest fee yet. Atletico Madrid actually made a loss on him because they sold him to Man City for £87 million, which seems a bit strange. Fabio Silva, he must be 16 at the start of the game as well, moved to Chelsea and then to Barcelona for £100 million. So these are like the real young wonder kids at the start of the game. So this is a good award to look at. Then we've got the regens coming in, of course. Let's have a look at the most recent one, a Liverpool regen, being capped by Germany. £77 million he cost them. Goalkeeper of the Year, don't think there's going to be any shock. I mean, Szczesny winning it. That's a little bit of a surprise, I think. Courtois to Stegen. Is he still playing? No, he retired at the age of 35, which is fairly young for a goalkeeper to retire, isn't it? He's a real life player. German, moved to Spurs. The nation rankings, so France currently top, so that might mean they've won the World Cup. We'll have a look in a second, I suppose. That's the current top competition rating, so the Premier League is top. What else can we look at here? I suppose we can look at big transfers. So the biggest transfer recently, Juan Manuel, regen from Real Madrid to Man City. There's so much money flying around, as you would expect 10 years into the future. I don't know if it's much different now. This is the worldwide reputation. So Liverpool are top, ahead of PSG. Then it's Zebra, or Juventus, Real Madrid, Man City. No real surprises up there, I suppose. Inter, Napoli quite high up. But yeah, no shocks, I suppose, this Brazilian team towards the top. The World Cup then, most recent winners. France won it against Holland. They've lost another final in 2022 with England finishing third. And Italy beat Mexico in the most recent final. Can't imagine we'll be able to see it because we're a bit too far into the future now. But that is amazing. 4-0 win, but Mexico getting to the final is some achievement. Spain won the third place playoff. So Mexico beat Spain on penalties to get to the final. Sweden get into the semi-finals also. Very impressive. They beat Brazil on penalties. These were the quarter-finalists. So now we've got these huge competitions because there's so many groups. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Look at all these. The third round of the World Cup just seems weird. Mali got to the second round. Not bad. Guinea, USA in there. Jamaica, they got through. Canada, they got through to the second round of the World Cup. Morocco, Congo, lots of African teams getting through, which is brilliant to see. Australia got through as well, but then the third round, I suppose, not as many surprises in there. That's interesting. Let's look at the 2022 World Cup then. So this is still in the normal format, with France beating Holland in the final, England beating Argentina in the third place playoff. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess when there's all those teams. But it makes it I think it makes it more interesting from a football manager perspective, having a lot more rounds in the World Cup. It makes managing an international team slightly more intriguing. European Championships then. So England won it. So 2020, Sweden beat Spain. England beat Portugal in 2024, and then France beat England. Wow, well done to Sweden for winning. Let's have a quick look at that final then. So they beat Spain on penalties. Spain, Belgium, Sweden and Croatia in the semi-finals. These are the quarter-finalists. Scotland got through. Are they even going to qualify for 2020? I don't know. I don't think they are they? And then we've got the 2024 competition. So we've got a second round. Norway got through. I mean, they've got some great young players. They should be doing well. But they crashed out in the second round. That's the quarter-final. Semi-final, England beat France and Portugal beat Poland. And then the final, England beat Portugal 3-2. We can't see that, unfortunately. 2028, though. I might be able to see this one. That's the second round. So Kosovo getting through to the second round. That's brilliant for them. Norway managed to get through to the quarter-finals, where they were defeated by France, the eventual winners. 5-4 win for England against Spain. Bit annoying I can't see all the games. And then the semi-final, England beat Portugal and France beat Holland before France beat England 2-1. Let's just have a quick look at the English team. Tamori in there. What's going on here? There's no goalkeeper being picked, that's why. Tamori, 31 years old, 107 caps for England. He's a regen. Great. Choo Sing, love it. Is he real? No, he's not. Oh, he is. Jude Bellingham. I thought he was real. Cool, he must be like 15, because is he the Birmingham? Yes, I'm right. The Birmingham wonder kid, or supposed wonder kid. Blimey, look at those transfer fees. Everton, then Man United had £42 million, Chelsea 129, PSG 113. He's only 25 on the game, and he's got 84 caps. What a player. Phil Foden in there, 77 caps, still playing for Man City. Become a more regular player though, as you'd expect at that age. Obviously we've looked at Jadon Sancho at Real Madrid now, but Marcus Rashford, he is playing for Zebra. Moved to Chelsea for 122 million and then to Zebra for 85 million pounds, and he's got 32 goals in 134 caps. We've seen Ben Chilwell. I mean, most of these players are real. Declan Rice has ended up with 50 caps playing. He's moved around. But that is really random. To Stoke for £33 million plus part exchange. What is all that about? Then to Liverpool a year later, and then to Wolfsburg the season after, and then to Spurs. That is a very strange route for Declan Rice. Saka. He's the Arsenal player, isn't he? He's moved around a fair bit. Is Dean Henderson real? Yeah, he is. Dean Henderson. Goalkeeper, yeah. So he's in the first team as well. Dele Alli, 89 caps for England. Usually you'd expect him to have more than 100, but he perhaps hasn't quite pushed on so much in the last year or two in real life. Mason Mount, 79 caps at the age of 30. And where's Raheem Sterling? Surprised he's not in there. 34 years old, 165 caps for England, 45 goals. Yeah, he's had some career, hasn't he? He's done rather well. That's intriguing. So France are currently top of the world ranking, so they should have an exceptional team because, of course, all the real-life players they have, Mbappe, the top players, these are regen. Then we've looked at this guy, Ndombele, of course, and is he real? Yes, Upamecano. Sorry if I'm murdering the pronunciations, you've got to get used to that. If you are new to the channel, by the way, it'd be great if you can hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed my ramblings today as well. Just looking around this 10-year save, it's intriguing. It really is. And there's a lot of real-life talent in this team still. I mean, there's Malang Sarr, the centre-back or left-back as he is on this game, Theo Hernandez. Right, shall we look at some of the leagues then? So I did load, I think, the 5 big European leagues. So these are the recent winners. There's no surprises in there. Man City managed to win 6 titles in a row before Man United returned to glory with a win in 2024. Then Man City won it 3 more years in a row. But then Liverpool, for the first time in 40 years, something like that, eventually managed to win the Premier League. And they've won 2 in a row. This year they won it at Kansas, 103 points. Who's in charge of them these days? Bruno Lage. What's happened to Klopp? Where are you, Klopp? Jurgen Klopp. He's back at Dortmund. So he went from Liverpool to Atletico Madrid to Dortmund. That's strange. Guardiola, is he still on here? Pep. Yep, he's moved to Monaco. So he also managed Atletico Madrid and then moved to Monaco. Well, there we go. The 2 best managers in the world, apparently. Yeah, they've moved around a bit, but they've done quite well by the looks of it. What's EC2 mean? Euro Cup 2? What's the Euro Cup 2? Is this a new competition I don't know about? Am I out the loop? I don't know. But there. Oh, Rodrigo, top goal scorer this season. And any other names we haven't looked at yet? I think everyone else we've looked at, all their regens. So those are the most recent winners in the Premier League. FA Cup. Any interesting winners here? No, it's just big teams. Lots of other teams reaching the final. But it's Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Spurs, Chelsea. Boring. Carabao Cup, similar story. Crystal Palace won it though in 2027. Well done to them. Spanish First Division, I loaded this league, so no surprises. Atletico Madrid won it in the first year, but since then it's been Barcelona and Real Madrid mainly. With Atletico Madrid finishing 3rd. Valencia finished 2nd once though. This season, Real Madrid at 97 points, running away with it. Thomas Lemar, still playing for Atletico Madrid. 125 caps for France. Great midfielder. Oh, I just want to say, I want to give a shout out to the regen faces because they are definitely better this year. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they are definitely better than they used to be. I mean, this guy looks pretty good. You could possibly confuse it with a photo from this sort of very small resolution, I suppose. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, much better. I want to congratulate them on the regen faces before I forget to say. I think they've got the Bundesliga license, haven't they? So that's why it's called the Bundesliga. But they don't have the German national team license, which is a bit irritating, really. But Bayern Munich not completely dominant in Germany. Ligue 1. So PSG, as you would expect, completely dominant. I mean, they were dominant in Europe, so they're going to be dominant in France. Only 1 loss this season in the league. Mbappe, 2nd top goal scorer, highest average rating. Yeah. Oh, this chap's a real-life player. Congolese, Baningimi, who got the most assists in France this year. And lastly, Serie A, Zebra, dominant, although Napoli have managed to win it twice at some point. 99 points for Zebra this season. Oh, Pietro Pellegrini, one of the favourite regens on last year's edition of the game. Hasn't really pushed on as you'd expect. Only 12 goals and 20 caps for Italy. Moved to Inter for £44.5 million. Didn't really play for Monaco until the last couple of seasons he was there. So yeah, I don't know what's happened to him in real life in the last year, to be fair. So maybe they're basing on it. And also the potential does vary. The potential of a player isn't fixed. It is for certain players, but for a lot of the young players, they have a range that they can reach. Some of them will obviously go on and hit the top of their range in some saves, and other times they won't. So it does vary. It's realistic, Just think about how many regens you hear about, and not regens, real life wonder kids you hear about, and they don't go on to do it. So a lot of the wonder kids we know at the moment not all of them will go on to be world beaters. That's just the way it is. Anyway, I think I've looked at everything I want to. Thank you for watching this video. I'm not sure there's much point holidaying like 50 years into the future, because it is really just regions at that point. The beauty of 10 years into the future is having a look at these real life wonder kids and young players that have developed in those 10 years to see where they are. So that's what I like about going 10 years into the future. But I could do a specific wonder kid comparison. Maybe I need to sort of do a couple more simulations 10 years into the future just to see how it differs between 3 saves. That's something I might do at some point. But thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. As I said earlier, if you are new, it'd be great if you can hit that subscribe button. I don't really know if it helps these days in terms of being able to see my videos, because YouTube just seems to throw stuff at you on the home page that you're not even subscribed to them. It's all about the algorithms, isn't it? But if you can hit that subscribe button, that'd be marvellous. But until next time, enjoy Football Manager 2020. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.